Testing, testing. Quick sound check for my sake. My sake. Um, Very important. And I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to be very brief about this because I've got a lot of stuff to do. I've got a lot of things to do, so this is going to be a short one. And it is the most important thing that you can learn. It's a skill, and it's more important than anything else. And nobody talks about it, right? And I had a feeling, I had a small feeling, I had a hint of a feeling that it was going to be that, and I wanted to avoid it because it is. It's not that it's hard. It takes a lot from you. You might have to sleep different. You know, it's not hard. It's not hard. You just have to do the thing. And that's taxing mentally. Because it's almost like changing who you are. It's kind of fascinating. It's like getting a haircut so that you get a job. You know what I mean? It's like getting a haircut so you can get a job. That's what I'm talking about. That's the thing. It's the skill of convincing people. And some people have this naturally, all right? The skill of convincing people. And that is a very instinctive thing, right? Because you have to have some sort of idea about understanding your fellow man, and it's in no books. You can't put it in a book because it's incredibly dependent on time, uh, geographical location, person to person, because no one person, no one time, no one location is the same. Everything's different. And yet, it's all the same because we're all the same species and our wants and desires are all kind of predicated on the same thing. It's survival and status. But what that means to each person is different. And the ability to recognize that, to see it within yourself, to recognize it in other people, and then find a missing puzzle piece. Find a missing piece of the puzzle and you stick yourself in there. Or, you find the thing and you're like, this is what you need. Being able to persuade, that's the real skill. Nothing greater than that. It's more important than money. It's more important than knowledge. In terms of utility. That's why in Suits, arguably Louis Litt is like a far better lawyer. Well, Harvey's a closer. Right? He's got that reputation. He'll get you to sign. And that's why he gets kept around. He doesn't make as much money for the firm as Louis Litt does, but because he's a closer, he gets people to sign, that's what makes him so important. That's what gives him the status. And the issue is, and I think personally, it's fascinating that we look up to him for that. It's almost like a desirable thing. It's like, wow, that guy gets that thing done. He gets people to sign. He does this. Okay, Lewis is impressive in his own right, but he's not as cool. And it's like, why is that? It's like because that's the universal skill, where if you have that, you fit anywhere. You fit in all the puzzles. If you're able to convince people of something, you can go anywhere. And you're a rock star. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. I've been thinking about it like, okay, product, convince. And it's like, no. Convince product. It's the other way. It's the other way. If someone is able to be convinced upon something, give them that. Create it out of nothing. That's the skill. Woo! I tell you, it's been a bit of an epiphany. And it's like, yeah, you're thinking, like, sure, everybody gets that. Being able, it's just called sales, it's just persuasion. It's like, no, it's a lot deeper than that. Because nobody wants to sign. Nobody wants to sign on the paper. Nobody wants to send an invoice. You just have to do that because you think you have to. No. Get someone to happily sign on the dotted line. That's the skill. And I got some ideas, man. I got some ideas. And it's like, okay, work backwards. And I think I can work backwards. It's like it makes sense. It's like there was like a constrictor, right, on my head, and it's like I'm forced into this box. And now I'm like, well, now the whole world's just opened up. And now I can do anything. And I find that fascinating. I'm going to end it at 10 because, whatever. I've run out of excuses. I don't want to go longer than 10. Maybe tomorrow I'll go 3 hours. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. The power of convincing someone. That's that's the real deal. And the internet makes you think you can just do everything behind the screen. That only lasts so long. You might be able to get lucky, but numbers might move up on a screen because you pushed a few buttons, but all you can do at that point is just go on a beach and have a Mai Tai. But then what? Can't get lucky twice. If you're lucky enough to get lucky twice, I think you know what's coming the third time. Luck runs out. That skill doesn't. Okay, yeah. Heed this. You learn everything. You learn things at school. It's great. It's very useful. Do it. Read a book. Read a research paper. Read an article. Read, consume, listen, learn anything and everything. But that's like 10% of the battle. You could be the smartest guy in the world. If you don't know this, nothing's happening. That's why in the movies they always have like a really smart nerdy guy who has like this amazing thing, and then there'll be like a cool guy who knows how to sell it who comes along. Like the Blackberry movie. Glenn Howerton. He's a G. Glenn Howerton. Great actor. Good night. Be good, do good things, and subscribe, and good things will happen. And I'll see you tomorrow.